Just four. We are now live. Episode 3.
Yes,
Heat
sir.
check
What's up?
in the building. My name is Corey McCarthy. I am one of your hosts. I'm here with two of our most opinionated and honestly, well, I'm actually glad because when we talk about like strong brothers, these are two stubborn, strong brothers. But we got to be in this world and we got to be in this space. So I got my man Aaron Carter with us. Lord knows if that's his real name. Um, the man that traveled the world. We gonna get into that as the weeks go on. Also got Mr. Official, Mr. Steve Wilson in the building. Everybody know, we got Roxbury, we got Dorchester, and we got everywhere in the building out of Boston. So happy to have y'all here. I just really want to jump into something really quick. The first order and this is going to you, Aaron. Should Jason Tatum come back this year?
No, no, he shouldn't play. There's no point to him coming back. They don't gain anything. In fact, I think it does more harm than good. It doesn't make any sense. I think it's very clear that Jaylen Brown, for whatever reasons, he's elevated his game. And the setup that they had before was, I guess you could call it successful. They won the title. But does anybody believe Jaylen Brown's going back to standing in the corner? After he declared himself the best two-way player in the NBA, is he now going back from 30 points a game to 20, standing in the corner and watching Jason Tatum take step-back threes at the end of the game for no reason? So that's another reason. They need to, he needs to heal. And that way, for the summer, they can work on this new dynamic if there's going to, if they're going to continue this way. But coming back, the Celtics have no shot at winning the title. If he comes back, he's not going to be the Tatum that he was before he hurt. It's going to take a little while to get back to being him. So there's really nothing to gain by him coming back this year.
Steve, what up?
I agree. I don't think he should come back. I'm glad that he's working hard and he's showing progress. No need for him to come back.
I don't think he should come back. But I think because of the JB situation, he want to come back. Whether or not like he feels good or whatever, I personally think the way he tore his Achilles, he actually was probably like covering up having calf problems to begin with because that's the early sign. So in my opinion, he really, really just gotta heal up and get his act together and then come back next year and make it work. So I definitely think he should sit this one up. So I think we're all in agreement there. But then again, how far do the Celtics go without him? So, Aaron, what are you thinking? Do you think they go Eastern Conference Finals, or you think they're just going to go to the finals?
Probably not. I don't think they go to either one. I think their record. My feelings on Joe Mazzulla are clear, but I think he's done a good job. He's done a better job this year far better this year than he's done during even the title-winning time. The Celtics are playing well. Their role players are playing well, but they have to beat a team that's going to be better than them 4 out of 7 times. I don't think their record matches. Kind of like the Patriots. I don't think their record matches the sum of their parts. And so when you get into the playoffs, I think teams who are having some problems right now, like the Knicks or even Detroit, Cleveland, which nobody knows what the hell is happening with their record. But once you get into the playoffs, that's the time where now where people weren't really they were projected to win 42 games. Now you have to have a team where you're playing 2 weeks in a row where everybody's focused on simply stopping Jaylen Brown. So now instead of him saying, okay, I'm going to get these points or whatever, he's shooting really well. Now he's going to be double teamed. Is he going to pass it out? Is Derek White going to make those shots now? Is Sam Hauser going to get 10 freaking threes, in the game during the playoffs? And I think that's where, if you're saying, I'm looking at a series versus, the Knicks, I'm looking at a series versus Cleveland. Am I betting my money on the Celtics to win that series? No, I don't think so.
You could beat Cleveland?
No, not in a 7-game playoff series. No, I think if Cleveland's healthy, it's 4-2 Cleveland. That's what I think. I don't think Jaylen Brown is winning that series yet. I just don't see it. I think he's elevated his game, but him being hit this MVP talk, this top player in the league stuff, I just don't I don't see it.
How far they go? How far do the Celtics go, Steve?
Sorry about that. My phone overheated. How far the Celtics go? I give them the way they playing, and Hauser keeps up. Hauser's the key right now, and people are not really singing his praises. Second round, I think they lose in the second round.
Yeah, and that's Cleveland or New York. Yeah,
y'all don't think they could beat New York?
Yeah, I think.
No,
I think they
not New York playing well.
I don't think. Yeah, I think New York's tougher than we are.
Okay.
And I think
we're more talented, and New York's tougher.
And again, I'm very big on coaching. I just don't see the coach there yet. I think Joe Mazzulla is going to be, with the start that he's had and obviously the backing of the GM, I think he's going to be one of the better coaches in the league, but he is not one of the better coaches in the league at this point in time. And I don't care what the current record is. I see it when I'm watching the games. How many times I'm just going, what the like? So that's what I'm betting on there.
But
yeah, I agree too that he's not that great of a coach. But I tell you one thing, he's a player's coach, and they fight to the death for him. So that goes a lot farther sometimes in the X's and O's. And I don't, and honestly, in the NBA now, I don't see too many good coaches. Period. You know what I'm saying? Across the entire across the league, I don't see it like, okay, he's a great coach. I just don't see it. But I'm telling y'all, Hauser's the key to the Celtics, man. That boy he's doing a lot more than just pulling up shooting threes now. He's going to the rack. He's playing great defense. He's rebounding.
You know about Sam Hauser?
Sam Hauser. I know it sounds crazy, but if you watch the games the games.
I'm just clarifying.
If you watch the games closely and see what he's doing, other than stretching the floor, him hitting the offensive glass, him playing defense, especially off the pick and rolls, him being able to come off the screen, defend, and get back. He's doing a lot more this year, and he's a lot more confident. He knows he's not going to get yanked. He's been playing very well. And him and Little White Chocolate, they play real well together.
I mean, me?
We can we can say whatever we want and say these guys are overrated or whatever, but Little White Chocolate been busting people's ass in the last month.
I mean, he's also wide open.
You can say he's wide open. There's a lot of people wide open that don't hit shit. He's wide open for a reason.
I'm a Peyton Pritchard fan. I say that he's by far Ainge's best draft pick. I said he was a starting guard in this league, in the NBA years ago, and I got mocked and laughed at. But Peyton Pritchard can play.
He can play.
And he's going to play. But again, with his role is better suited with the way that the Celtics are set up, with him having a bit more freedom off the bench, not having to be so good, as that 30-minute or whatever starter. So when Like that's why with Tatum coming back hopefully next year, and that pushes everyone down with some experience, then they're now the number one team. To me, this Celtics team is kind of like, remember that Hawks team with Al Horford that won 60 games years ago?
Paul Millsap.
Yeah, they were number one, and nobody thought that they were a number one seed. And the Celtics were in that position with Isaiah Thomas a couple times.
Right.
You know, they've been the higher seed, and they've lost, I think, 5 out of 6 times as the higher seed. And this is what I see happening this year.
Well, here's an unpopular opinion.
You're good at those.
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are 1 and 3 on the team. Whether you pick one of them to be 1 or 3. Number 2 is always going to be Derek White. In my opinion, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown cannot win a championship without Derek White. Derek White and Jason Tatum could take them pretty far. Derek White and JB could take them pretty far. Jason Tatum, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown can't do it. They need Derek White is without Derek White, this team does nothing. Nothing.
Derek White's doing it. Derek White's a bad boy. He leads on guards and blocks. His wingspan is ridiculous. He plays both sides of the floor. You can count on him over and over again. Big shots, clutch defensive plays. I'm not mad at that take. I'm not saying it's correct, but I'm not mad.
Well, see, I don't think if you put Derek White and Jaylen Brown that team is going anywhere. So all the praise that Jaylen Brown is getting, and it sounds like I'm hating Jaylen Brown's game, and I'm not. Like Jaylen Brown is playing incredible. But the thing is, and this is where I've said this in a couple of arguments, and people look at me and just stare because they don't know how to respond. The success that Jaylen Brown is having, the way that Jaylen Brown is playing, his ceiling right now is Jason Tatum's average game. You see what I'm saying? So when the way that Jaylen Brown is playing, the 30, sometimes he'll get 6 rebounds, sometimes he'll get 5 assists. That's Jason Tatum's average game. And people, all these Jaylen Brown is the best one on the team and blah, blah, blah. That's what Tatum gave you. He gave you that in the Dallas Finals when they just sort of willed Jaylen Brown into the MVP. That's what Tatum gives you. Tatum gives you that. And GMs and people can see that. And that's the thing. When you compare their games, if Tatum was playing like Brown for the way that Brown has played for most of his career, they don't elevate. Now that Brown is playing like Tatum, you see that they're better, which is why, again, this team was projected to be 500. Because the 10 years of sample size that we've had of Jaylen Brown has projected that. We see now that this is by far his best year. And the most important thing, his shooting has been off the chart. I am shocked that this dude is the Jaylen Brown that I've watched literally for his entire career shooting 50%. That is the most underrated thing about this whole year for him. It's not the all the rest of the stuff. He's finally defending up to his athletic ability, which is again another conversation. But it's more so the shooting, and that's why this team is winning. If he goes down to his regular percent, and we don't know if this is him for the year or if this is just a start right now, but if he gets back down into that 44, 45% shooting, then the Celtics will plummet. And that's the problem. Whereas a Tatum can suck and shoot, 8 of 24, but he's getting you 12 rebounds. He's getting you 8 assists.
He's a better playmaker. He's a better player, right?
And that's what we haven't seen.
Right. He's definitely a better playmaker. I don't know if you guys been paying attention to the All-Star game situation, right? Everybody in the world has a problem with anytime LeBron James does anything, right? And these dudes are always talk about somebody's a LeBron glazer whenever they want to always ignore like facts about like LeBron. So somebody could make anything up about LeBron, and LeBron makes the All-Star game. All of a sudden, they're comparing him to Kawhi Leonard, who's never available. whose team started 4-24 or whatever. My whole thing is, if you look at Luka Doncic and how awful of a defender. Now, LeBron's not playing great defense, but he could play multiple positions. But does LeBron deserve to make the All-Star game in year 23?
He does, because the All-Star game is an exhibition and it's probably on its way out. But I mean, his play compared to the rest of the NBA is warranted All-Star reserve selection. It has.
Yes.
When you look at the Chet Holmgrens and those guys, it warrants All-Star selection. Just like we mentioned earlier with Tatum and Brown's game, people are comparing LeBron to LeBron.
Yes.
They are not comparing him to his contemporaries, and that's the problem. And LeBron's prime was 10 years ago, and people seem to forget that. And part of the problem, LeBron brings it on himself with dumbass statements like it's hard to play 82 games, and he's been famous since he was 12 years old, so he's not going to be a normal person. He's not going to say normal people things. He's going to be clueless. But if you just judge him on his game compared to his coworkers, he's an all-star.
He's an all-star.
Is he a fringe all-star? Yeah. But if you're talking about the all-star game and you're looking at, LeBron James or a backup on somebody else, you're going with LeBron James. Like the backup who's having a good year.
They're saying that James Harden should have made it over.
No. Like the Clippers, I think went 15-3. And that brought them to 500.
No,
it doesn't make sense.
Any argument, and they are only doing it. Which is transition. This is me and you. We've been waiting for this conversation because they want to have the Bryant argument, right? And it's God bless the dead, right? But this Kobe Bryant conversation, we're obviously. We're on the show and we're supposed to go back and forth, but let's get things out the way that we both kind of agree on. The Kobe Bryant stimulus package is outrageous.
Yeah.
I've never, ever.
Oh my God. Stop it.
Like, I don't understand what has happened and since this man has passed that would put him in a conversation with Jordan, Bird, and LeBron and Kareem.
The internet, and I'm glad to be able to say it because I've written it a million times. Kobe Bryant is the first internet star, and I wrote it earlier. He's the first internet star. So when he came out, 96, and so that internet was starting to go up. The highlight culture was becoming more of a thing, and he came in. He won the dunk contest. He was on the bench on the bench, not doing well. He was on the bench. He was behind. Eddie Jones and I forget the other wings, and he started the All-Star game. People voted him an All-Star starter when he did not start on his own team. And then from there, it just sort of went and built. But it was more so sort of, I won't say casual fans, but highlight culture fans who were Kobe people. It wasn't basketball people. And which is why it sort of flipped, and sort of the old school NBA writers, Jack Ryan, Jack McCullough, all those people recognized Kobe's game for what it was. He was a wing that was doing well with Shaq.
Yes.
When he didn't have the best center in the league, his team was 500. So 35 points in the loss was Kobe's sort of MO. And like I said before, and I'll say it to my grave, if he doesn't play for the Lakers, where they had Shaq, and where they got the illegal trade with Paul Gasol, and then they got a second top center in the league in Dwight Howard, but it didn't work out. If he doesn't play for the Lakers, he has the same career as Tracy McGrady. And so the Kobe apologist people just love to ignore the beginning and the end of his career, and then that middle part where he didn't have the deepest team in the league and the best center. So without that, like he's McGrady, he's a better version of sort of those highlight wing players that we saw through that whole time, and they didn't win. When I say win, I'm not talking titles. I'm talking that LeBron 55, 60 win, take a bunch of bums, Delonte West or whoever, Jagonis Shagaskis to the finals.
Eric Snow.
Right. Brian would never do that.
Like, stop it. And I can make the argument. That if you swap out, like, what sounds better to people? I do this all the time. A lineup that has Kobe Bryant, Derek Fisher, Lamar Odom, Ron Artest, and Paul Gasol. And then you flip them out and you go LeBron, Artest, Gasol, Bynum, Odom. Like, the amount of championships that team wins. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, I can't. People have selective memory when it comes to Kobe Bryant quitting in a game 7. Like, not refusing, like, say, I'm not going to shoot the ball in a game 7 because I'm mad at the coach. So I'm going to try to get my assist on.
No, it comes up with basketball people. It comes up with bettors in the 04 series, the Karl Malone that to me, and this is just going to become a whole Kobe thing, but that series, if you go back and watch the series, you saw what he was doing. Anybody who bet money on that series saw what he was doing. And then when you compare it to LeBron and his all-star selections and his thing, I mean, despite how I feel about the bubble title, it was that team, I think, was 50 wins or so, or on its way to 50 wins at the time. The track record of LeBron the GM and LeBron the player is another thing that sort of hurts him. Because when LeBron the GM was able to have LeBron the player, he was winning. His poor decisions would help because LeBron the player was good enough to offset his dumbass personnel decisions. So, but as as his skills regressed and he was no longer LeBron the player anymore, when he started to bring in the Russell Westbrooks and those type of players, it wasn't going to work. And he couldn't carry a team to 50, 60 wins anymore. So when he's playing with Anthony Davis and he's no longer that LeBron, and when he's playing with a player like Anthony Davis, who's overrated, he can't elevate him to the top.
Correct.
And I think what you're seeing now with the Lakers, who should be better than what they are with the personnel that they have, that LeBron, the player, is not good enough, and he needs to acquiesce more to some of the other players and become even more facilitator than what he is. And that's hurting him as well.
So when should he retire, AC?
I mean, this year should probably be the last year, but it won't. I think doesn't he have one more year in his contract?
No, I think he's up this year. But
I didn't think he was up this year.
Who is someone who retired that's averaging 22, 7 and 7? Like,
but that's the problem.
But that's horrible. That's horrible to LeBron.
That's disgusting for him.
You're right.
And you LeBron
exactly.
fans, brother.
Hey, Steve, you still there? I know you was there.
No, yeah, I was just eating, so I didn't want to mess up your flow.
Steve, should LeBron retire?
Yes, LeBron should retire. He should have retired this year. And listen to this. Listen to this. I agree with y'all. He shouldn't go to the All-Star game. Even if his numbers were poor, still what he did for the league and so many other players, just off that GP, they should give him a swan song. And his numbers are there as well. You know how I feel. I don't got him that high, you know what I'm saying, on the all-time list. I don't think he's the best small forward of all time. I think, the white guy with them 2 threes, with the bad back, and, went out on the swan song. I think that's the best small forward of all time. I think LeBron is probably one of the best athletes to ever play the game of basketball, but I don't have him the best small forward of all time. So I can't put him that high up. But he should go to the All-Star game. And also, the Kobe slander that I'm hearing, the Kobe slander is wild right now.
It's not slander. Slander is incorrect.
It is slander. So
slander means we're saying false stuff.
Look, everything y'all said, I'm gonna agree with. I don't want to argue. But I remember, let's not revisit history. Before the injury, who was the best player in the league?
LeBron.
Before Kobe.
What year was that?
Huh?
What year was that?
Oh, okay. Now we don't remember the years.
It was LeBron. It was LeBron.
It was definitely Kobe. It was Kobe.
No, it wasn't. He was never the best player. He was never the best player in the league. At any second in his career, was he the best player in the league?
This is why we can't have real conversation, because I already conceded the same what I said. LeBron should be an all-star. By numbers and metrics, compared him at the small forward and power forward, yes. Okay, then. So watch this. Okay, then. Kobe wasn't the best player in the league before, but he's definitely top 3. How about that? Was he not top 3? If you say LeBron was the best player in the NBA, he was top 3 that year. When he walked to the free throw line after blowing his Achilles. Y'all said he wasn't the best player in the game, but he was leading the league in scoring. Was he not? Was he not leading the league in scoring?
That doesn't mean you're the best player. His team was bad.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Okay.
He was like I said earlier. He was putting up Marcus Smart shooting numbers and leading the league. Do you know how bad you have to be to shoot that percentage and score that many points? Do you know how much that hurts a basketball team?
That's great. That's okay. That's cool. We're going to talk about shooting percentages. He was still leading the league in scoring. He was still putting up, a 35 piece weekly, and he had a couple 50 pieces in there. All right, that's what he was doing.
He had a 50.
He would have definitely.
He scored 51 points with 46 shots. That is wild.
Yeah. All right. So okay. See, this is why y'all are not being honest. I let all
that
this,
is honest.
I let all this LeBron.
He took 46 shots to get to 51.
Yo, look. I didn't say nothing disrespectful about LeBron James, but now, and I didn't say anything disrespectful about any of y'all take.
Kobe Bryant. I'm
going to stop.
But see, that's why you said we can't have a conversation, because you take that as disrespect when he just threw out numbers. That's all he threw out his numbers.
No, but how? So when I gave numbers, y'all just slighted me. I said he led the league in scoring. I think he was probably in the top 5 in rebounding for a shooting guard. He was in the top 10.
Oh, for a shooting guard, yeah. Bro.
Yes, he was in the top 10. I'm just giving you the numbers. I don't like it. I see the faces.
All right,
he was in the top 10.
I got my Coca-Cola.
All right, but y'all just said AD was terrible and LeBron brung all these bums and all that. Now let's also talk about when everybody said if Kobe does not win a championship without Shaq, he's trash. We remember that? It's not real. He only did it because the Diesel was there. The Diesel left. We get the toll.
You cut out.
You got
but Brian
Spanish guy, and they win with
say it again. No, you talk about revisionist history. He lost the best center in the league, and then he got maybe what? The second best center? At worst, the third, behind Dwight Howard.
Paul Gasol was not.
Who in 2008? Who in 2008 were a better center than Paul Gasol?
Dwight Howard.
So I said, if not the second, the third. That's what I said, right? No other team besides the Lakers would have been allowed to trade.
In the universe at that time.
Okay. So he was. In fact, you know what? In fact, he was probably better than Shaq at that point. By 2008, he was better than Shaq. Who you have Dwight Howard? Who else? So he got the second best center.
But what I'm saying is, y'all missed the point. Then everyone said that Kobe needed to win a ring without the Diesel, right? And did he not do that?
Yes, he did. What is that? What is that changing? I'm not quiet. I said yes, he did. Right, what does that change? What does that change about what we're talking about?
All right, it doesn't change anything, sir. Go ahead.
But just to end, but just to talk about the All-Star thing and if LeBron deserves it or not, all All-Star conversations end when Magic Johnson started the All-Star game and he had a terminal disease. He didn't play a second. Remember, he didn't play a second that year. Magic Johnson was playing with what at that time was a death sentence. When he played in the All-Star game in 1992, he didn't play a second. So once that happened, the All-Star game wasn't the same in terms of who goes in, who starts, what this means, blah blah blah, all the rest of that.
I will say though, that
was a swan song. That was a swan song for Magic.
That might have been the best All-Star. That was the last great All-Star game I've seen. I don't know
because they was really playing.
Since. I don't know if there's been a good one since. I want to transition really quick.
Did y'all hear what Garnett said about this?
Go ahead, Steven.
Did y'all see what Garnett said about the All-Star game? Did you not see what Garnett said when Kobe? He said Kobe. What do you remember when he slapped the floor? Kobe slapped the floor.
I did. I like that. I posted that. Yeah, I saw that.
And he said that killed an All-Star game, and LeBron should be ashamed of himself. I
posted that. I agree with that. I posted that. I agree with that.
Kevin Garnett
100%.
said that's what destroyed the All-Star game. Mr. McCarthy.
So Kobe slapping the floor trying to guard LeBron.
No, it was
and he swung the puck. He swung the puck so quickly.
Yeah, he did. Brian was like, what the fuck are you doing? That's what Brian. And Brian's like looking at him like, what are you doing? Like we're supposed to be me and you. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you give him his credit. So one thing before we shift to football, I was having this art conversation the other day. Who are the last, if after LeBron, who's the next 2 or 3 generational players?
You mean from the young guys?
Since LeBron came in the league, who have been the generational players who are generational?
Oh, it's definitely Curry.
Curry, yes.
Yeah, there's no question.
Curry ruined basketball in my opinion, but yeah, Curry. Who else?
Yeah, I mean,
is it the alien?
He will be. Yeah, he will be. Yeah, I think that's it, because I think when you're talking about generational, you have to factor everything in. You have to factor in the skills, the marketability, and all that.
We got to define generational, right? How do people define like a player we've never seen before, right? Like we've seen Mike.
Yeah, Curry's the guy. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you have to define it as results on the court. And then you have to define it as influence. So when Curry clearly influenced the game of basketball with his skill set. LeBron clearly influenced the game of basketball, not with his skill set, but with some of his decision making, some of his off the court stuff.
Right.
Right.
Genetic situation, makeup, right?
Yeah. You look at an Allen Iverson, under 6 feet tall, the first, I hate this freaking term, but the first sort of hood star, to where his influence and his game, his dribble, and the way that he carried himself really sort of was infused basketball and sort of took it from that sort of crisp Jordan look into more of a street type look. So even though he didn't necessarily have all the results, that influence that he had on basketball, which is why I say some people like a Kevin Durant is talent-wise, you can count, but Kevin Durant doesn't change anything about basketball. Like when Kevin Durant retires, nobody, one, because of his size and skill set, is going to be like Kevin Durant. So that's a criteria for that generational thing. I think once Curry goes, Wembanyama is going to be generational because of that marketability and because we've never seen what this dude is. This dude is step back threes behind the back, at 7'4", and the blocks and the influence that he has. But if you look at like Jason Tatum when healthy is a top 5 NBA player, but is he a generational, influencer? No. I think the league has a bunch of those guys. I think the league has a serious problem with their American players and the foreign-born players, because Jason Tatum, although good, is not marketable. He's got the shoes, he's got the Doritos or whatever it is that he sells, but he has no charisma. There's no interviews.
There's not a mystique. Steve,
right? That's the word. Yeah,
the generational player since LeBron. We all know LeBron is, right?
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. And so you see
Curry, LeBron. But Steve, who do you think has been generational since? And I'm leading up to a point.
Yeah.
You there?
I don't know if he's there.
So I would argue there were 2 generational players in the 90s. Jordan, Shaq. The 80s, had 6 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my argument is always about the 80s, and people love to give the 90s, 80s credit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but the 80s, you still had Dr. J, who's generational, dominated the ABA versus NBA games. He dominated, in my opinion. Dr. J couldn't put the ball in the left hand, but at the time, freak athlete, boom. Dr. J, Kareem, Magic, Bird, generational. You know, New Yorkers will argue Ewing or whatever. Right now, we're starving for generational talent. Even though the talent is, the skill sets are better, but like LeBron, like Kobe's not generational to me because he's aesthetically probably because of the point you made. LeBron, Curry, the alien, not Giannis. Giannis probably had a chance.
No, he's too, and he sort of changed lately, but he's too straight laced. As far as the 90s, I actually would throw Barkley in there because of his skill set, because of his commercials, the fighting, his outspokenness. I think again, Barkley is a normal sized dude in terms of height, and even though he was fat, people underestimate his leap. Like they forget those gorilla dunks that Barkley did, the rebounding set.
His uniform. I mean,
as far as now, I thought that that Morant had the chance to be that because he had a kind of a mix of athleticism. Not Durant, John Morant. And then he screwed it up. He just gets worse. It just keeps.
I mean, he's chips now. He's chips now.
Hold on, one more though. I think there is somebody who has a chance, and we have to factor this in.
Jokic?
No, because of his personality. But we have to factor this in. And I've been on this kid for 3 years. Like I said, I would have traded him as a junior in high. I would have traded Jaylen Brown for Cooper Flagg when he was a junior in high school.
Oh, you think Cooper is better than Boozer?
Yes. Cooper Flagg, and because of his race, young, good-looking white kid, his game, Jason Kidd, and he lashed out at the media for questioning why the hell are you playing this kid at point guard? And Jason Kidd said he knows what he's doing. Does he? like have we seen results from Jason Kidd that I don't know about? But he says that he knows what he's doing. But Cooper Flagg has the chance to be.
Well, he just turned 18.
Right.
Or 19, something like that, right?
Yeah.
He had a 50-point game. I mean, he had a 49-point game, and I think he had a 42-point game.
Yeah, right? he wants it. He wants to be good. You can see it. And he's got that chance to, when guys come at him, to not only respond to that, but do it in a way that embarrasses dudes out there. So he's that dude who can get you that 25, 10 and 6 in a good way. That's going to help you win. And I think once he gets a coach under his belt, he's gonna be serious.
The jury, in my opinion, it was supposed to be Zion. People thought Zion was going to be generational.
Never.
But he was on the dark sites.
Never. Once there's a post in Sit and Talk where I said the worst city for him to go to because we knew what he was doing to do. Yeah. We knew what he was doing to do. And I don't know if we can use that language here. But once he went to New Orleans and got exposed to some of those New Orleans women and that New Orleans food, I don't know the last time you've been to New Orleans, but I go frequently. It smells like butter in the air.
Yes.
Everything has fried and fat. Right. It smells like butter. And that was not good for a kid who had weight issues.
Right. All right, AC. We're moving to Sunday. I'm going to go with my prediction.
Okay.
Seattle 31, Patriots 10.
That's a fair.
Here's why, right? And I feel as a lifelong Patriots hater, right? Everybody know I'm a Bears fan first. I'm a Ravens fan second. and anybody who beats the Patriots third and above. There's a part of me that is traumatized by the Patriots. And I feel like because the Patriots mindset is like, yo, you can win one game. Win one game. And they the same way they did to the Rams, the St. Louis Rams. You know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like that could happen. However, Gonzalez is the only one that could start for the Seahawks, in my opinion. Right?
Drake May would start over Donald.
Who?
Drake May would start over Sam Darnold. He would start over Sam Darnold.
Drake May has been awful in the playoffs.
And he would still start over Sam Darnold. he just would.
I don't think that Drake May is going to come to play with a team who has a front four that allows a strong secondary to do bullshit. Right? And I don't know. They could make the slant to the seam route to Hunter Henry disappear. Bude, he could be covered man to man. I think that front four is gonna, unless Drake May uses his legs extensively, he needs 70 yards on the ground on himself. I don't think the running backs are going to be a factor. I just don't see. And I don't see, to your point, Sam Darnold is the X factor. And he's been historically terrible when it matters most. Even though he had a great game. He had a great game the other day. So I still believe, even though I have Patriots trauma, 31-10 Seattle.
I mean, I'm not going to argue that score. It's a score when during the Rams game that is sort of close to what I was thinking in my head. I figured the Seahawks would open 6.5 maybe. And it was in sort of that Vegas zone at 4.5 when they opened up. I think the Seahawks are going to win, but I'm actually going to bet on the Patriots. Like, it's just one of those things where my biggest issue right now is they're playing games. The Patriots are playing games, and they'll probably be fine. Is nobody knows if Drake May's hurt. So they're putting him on the injury. He's not practicing. We don't know what's happening. They're having him, carry his bag in his right hand to show that he's not hurt, but then he's not throwing the football and all that kind of stuff. So in the gambling websites and places that I go to that I like to frequent, nobody knows. But the thing is, 52% of the money is on the Patriots as we speak right now. So I would say that I think if he's not hurt, if this is a trick, that and Mike Vrabel is from that Bill Belichick school of lying, that this might be a trick because the Patriots know that they're not as good as the Seahawks. So maybe they're looking for that little bit of edge to get them up. So I would say that this game is going to be high scoring. I would say that it's going to go over I think the over under is 45, something like that. I think if Drake May's healthy, this game goes into the 50s. And I think the Patriots pull it out. I don't think either the Patriots are going to win or it's going to be a blowout, for the Seahawks. I think 34-30 the Patriots. I think if Drake May's healthy, he's going to run like you said. The wide receivers suck. The Patriots, the Patriots' skill positions are not good, and I think Seattle knows that. But I think Drake May is we just talked about generational. From what I'm seeing with this, again, I'm not a dude who just doles out praise, but from what I see from Drake May, it's been incredible this season. That team, the Patriots are horrible. They are the worst team to appear in a championship game that I've ever seen. Ever. And what that kid did, what the coaching has done, some of the individual performances from Booty, from Douglas and all these guys it's just been short of incredible. And I think at this point, even though the numbers say Seattle's going to win this game easily, I think it's one of those runs that it just goes like the 2013 Red Sox. That team sucked too, and they won the title. It's just one of those things that comes up. I think the Patriots win this in a high-scoring game.
Okay. So I got 31-10 Seattle. Seattle. You have 34-30 New England. What about you?
I got a low-scoring game. This is going to be a defensive game. Defense. Both of the defenses are very good.
Call your score.
Huh?
Call your score.
21-17 Patriots.
Yeah, see, 5 or 4 in that Patriot range too. So 21-17 is that.
Because what happens when you play the Patriots and the scheme and what they have, if you don't crush them and you don't blow them out, and they figure out what you're doing, you're not, and they make the halftime adjustment, you're not going to beat them.
Yeah,
you're not.
I mean,
because
I can get with that.
Because they have so many nobody players, and like he just said, that no one, their team suck. Their team doesn't suck. They have a lot of players that fit the system, and they're going back to that old Patriots way. The Patriots don't care about names. They want the player that fits the system to do the job. And they got a whole bunch of those guys. Everybody just talks about Gonzalez. They got a whole bunch of guys that fit the system, and a whole bunch of guys that feel like everybody doesn't fuck with them, and it's them against the world. That's a dangerous group of players to play with. And then you got this one generational guy like Drake May. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's a phenomenal.
I like Drake May.
Yeah, Drake May is the key.
But if Drake May is not throwing the ball over 20 yards, he's no good to me. Or running the ball, he's no good to me.
Which is why I think it might be a lie.
But if they do that, which I know they're going to do, that plays in the Patriots' way. If you box them up and say you're going to have to play dink and dunk and run around, you're not going to beat them like that. They like that shit. Most teams don't.
I think the opposite. If he cannot throw the deep ball,
no, he's already proved. Everyone thinks that he has to throw the deep bomb off the play action. He just showed you that he doesn't. He just proved that to you that he doesn't.
Listen,
that offensive coordinator is a bad motherfucker. I ain't gonna say his name.
He's actually a difference maker. I will say this as well. The Rams wide receiver core is 10 times better than the Patriots wide receiver core. They tried they tried screens, they tried wide receiver screens, they tried quick slants, and the Seahawks coverage and tackling is elite. And the Patriots need they need one guy to one receiver. Might be Diggs. I don't know. Maybe he might be all cardied out, right? But you know what they say, what you're not supposed to do before game day. He look who we with. Drake May.
He's definitely gonna do that.
Drake, I'm not Drake May. Stephon, somebody has to go for 120 or more for them to beat Seattle. And I don't see it happening.
I can see that happening because Seattle and the Rams played each other 3 times. So there's a difference in that in terms of scheme. And Seattle is at home. And that home field is a huge factor as well. For Seattle to win this game, like I said, it's either going to be a blowout, but if they keep the Patriots in the game, if Drake May is not hurt, and that's also part of the mystique of the Patriots, to where this kid, like we could go back and watch the tape. They pinpointed where he might have probably got hurt in the third quarter. They pinpointed some of the throws and The Patriots were lucky that the weather sort of hid some of the things that happened. But the Patriots' mystique is real. And if Drake May is healthy, then he's elevated these guys like Booty and Hunter Henry and all the, these receivers that they're throwing to. Stephon Diggs is, he's made some, he's the comeback player of the year or whatever, but he's still not who he was. And May has elevated that. And the Patriots defense, the thing about their quarterback for the Patriots defense put the ball on the ground 6 freaking times in the playoffs. If the defense wasn't great, any other run, the coach is fired, somebody's fired. Offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, somebody's fired if your quarterback puts the ball on the ground 6 times. And yet the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That is why I think the Patriots are going to win, because this is just a run. There's no explanation to it. The numbers don't match. I will say that this team, yes, they suck. I'll stand behind that. Nothing matches, but the team is just like in 2001. We're seeing it again. We're seeing a team that is coming together. We're watching it before our eyes. We're watching a young quarterback learn from his mistakes and just simply get better. Seattle's coaching, this is one of the few matchups where Mike Vrabel isn't far and away the better coaching matchup too. And that's something that's interesting. But again, remember the Rams coach versus Belichick. The Wonder Kid turned into a deer in the headlights. Like, what the hell?
I remember, but I will say
I see that happen again.
I will say this. I want to give the defense credit. However, CJ Stroud, they didn't do anything to make CJ Stroud play that terrible. Jarrett Stidham I'd rather watch Lester play quarterback than Jarrett Stidham. and Herbert had I'd rather put freaking DC on the offensive line to help Justin Herbert. I don't know. And the Patriots will make me look stupid because they'll mess around and win. But I don't know how I can't remember someone this fortunate that didn't have to go through Allen. You didn't have to go through Lamar. You didn't have to go through Mahomes. You didn't have to go through.
Oh my God! Stop it!
You didn't have to because those guys lost. That's why you didn't have to go through them. They lost.
Now you get Darnold in the Super Bowl. You don't get Stafford.
Darnold is in the Super Bowl.
You don't get Stafford. You don't get Stafford. Like, what the hell? Like, you don't get Russell Wilson sucks. I'm not talking about him. Dak sucks, right? But like, come on.
That is that when you talk about a run, it's part of it.
It's part of the mystique in the run. I get it. I'm saying this will be. I don't know. I don't even know if this is as formidable if they do win, because Darnold.
Yes, it is. They were the. I'm trying to describe it.
Talent wise, right? Who has the best wide receiver? Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who has the best defensive end?
Yeah, Seattle. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
Who has the edge on coaching?
Vrabel. He's a veteran coach, and he's taken. I think somebody mentioned it. People are forgetting that Mike Vrabel won with Ryan Tannehill. Yes. Like, he won football games, like actual NFL games with Ryan Tannehill. He's the better coach.
Tannehill and Henry has.
Yeah, he's a better coach. Patriots.
All right. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm agreeing with that on Vrabel. Seattle 31, Patriots 10. It's gonna. I bet against the Patriots before. I've looked crazy. And the times that I picked the Patriots, they lost, just like they lost to Philly. That's just what it is, right? This is gonna be insane. plenty of places to watch the game. AC's looking for people out there who are going to watch the show after we post the video. AC's looking for somewhere to watch the game.
Yeah, I'm going to Boston. I was going to San Francisco. They want $10,000 for nosebleed seats. And I was going to go just to be in the atmosphere. I'm like, I'm all set. I don't even want to deal with it.
Okay. Now, part of the show with sports and entertainment. Mr. Wilson, you there? Mr. Wilson, check in.
I'm here, sir.
All right. Before we cap off, this is for the group.
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
Before we end off, this is for the group. This is for the group. Top 3 celebrity crushes.
You crazy, fam. You crazy.
No, hey, it's all you can make your safe picks.
Saddam Latham is one. That's one.
I no, you go, you get your 3. I'm gonna ask AC first. All right, even if I gotta go first.
No, I mean, go ahead.
I need to think about this.
I'm going first. While you think.
Go ahead.
All right. Number 1, Regina Hall.
Okay, Thelma. All right.
Regina Hall. Number 2, Carrie Hilson. Love Carrie.
Really?
Hilson. Carrie Hilson. Love Carrie Hilson. The dirt bag in me wants to pick Drea Michelle at number 3.
No, I'm not even sure who that is. I think I have a vague idea of who it is.
The dirt bag, but I will settle for.
That's crazy.
I will settle for Jade Cargill.
Yeah. That's your best one. Yeah.
So I got Carrie Hilson, Regina Hall, and Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill played basketball in Jacksonville, by the way. 5'10".
Yeah, she's nice.
5'10". AC, top 3 celebrity crushes.
I'm gonna say I can never say her last name. It's her name's like Jade Enchute. She was in. Did you watch Billions?
Yeah.
At the she was like in a relationship. The dark skinned girl with the fro and the cheekbones. Like that's.
I know who you're talking about.
Her. Yeah, she'd be number 1. Even though I've never talked to a woman this old, I still would have to say Salma Hayek, just because. I mean, still, just because. But that age bracket, that's not my age bracket. 35, younger, probably. But the last one, I don't know. I can't really think of one off the top of my head. I might have to steal Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill.
That's all right.
Yeah. So I got 2. Actually, I got 2 Jade, which is a name I don't even like. But yeah, I would take those 2. And okay. I can't really think of a third one right now in terms of celebrity crush.
You talking about Jade? Listen, Drea Michelle is amazing. Mr. Wilson.
Yo, man, you are absolutely out of you go, man. Yeah, this dude, man. This dude, man. I'm gonna go like old school with Sanaa Lathan is my number 1 top.
Sanaa Lathan, love her.
Yeah. Angela Bassett. I like the lady types, you know what I'm saying, and maybe Halle. Throw Halle in there, man.
Who?
He like Halle Berry.
Yeah. Halle.
He like all those 60-year-old women.
I'm 51 years old, man. Sanaa, Halle, and Angela Bassett. Well, I'm thinking about the 90s when I was growing up. I'm married.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean that's a different topic, right? Like,
well, I mean, yeah, because I mean, Strictly Business, Halle Berry is. I mean, there's no argument that. And before she changed anything, and she was just Halle Berry in Strictly Business. That reveal when she's in the club. Oh my God.
What made
that's a different level.
The 90s, I told somebody the other day, I stole this from somebody, but I was like, I told somebody that they were 90s kind of fine. And she's in her late 40s, and it's like in the 90s kind of fine. She thought it was the best compliment ever. What made them different? Was it that they were more worldly?
I was about to say it was the African resurgence. Yeah,
it was natural,
yeah,
and also understanding the lady thing. Like being a lady in 2026 in the last 20 years means absolutely nothing. Being a whore is accepted, and everybody acts like a hoe and a whore. So when you meet an actual lady, going to make you work, to chase, and natural. Not too much makeup, no BBLs, no fakeness. Ain't nothing like the 90s. And after the 90s, it was all over. And now what we got now. We have a cesspool of filth. Cesspool of filth.
That's it. I mean, there's nothing really to add to that. It definitely was, because remember, that's before it flipped completely, when hip hop was still black, when hip hop was still positive, when hip hop still liked women. People were dressing like that, and that was the look. It was the short hair or long hair. It was black hair. It wasn't this Negropean look, this weird, this whole weirdness. Titties out and all the rest of that. It was, and that's why.
Said Regina Hall with Corey. My fault for cutting you off. You said Regina Hall. Like, look at what Regina Hall did. She gave you the hood side. She gave you the debonair side. She gave you everything you want, but it was still a lady, and you still had to respect her, and it was still natural. You know what I'm saying? And now that she really understands what it is to be a woman, she might be better now than ever.
And I will say that there's two things, right? I think the silencing of the man's opinion is a factor, right? I think people work so hard to silence they confuse it with like extreme masculinity, and they just don't want to hear us talk. Like they just don't want to hear us talk. But when it comes to like the 90s kind of fine versus what's we're dealing with today, I will say it's what made the 90s great was the mystery. Right? Like there was a mystery to the woman that you're going to see. You have to wait till next Thursday to see her at a party.
Yeah. Those days are over with. You mean
like it could be a situation where you just end up like I know I've seen everything before I've gotten everything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the other stuff. So, I mean, women have this argument all the time where you talk about, they get mad if guys say, send me a picture, as opposed to, well, you can see my Instagram. It's, if everybody can see it, then it's not the same. So when you're talking about a picture, I don't need to see your nipples or anything. Take some at your desk while you're at work, whatever. That type of thing is nice. That's fine. It's what you both have already said. It's when it's just part of everything. There's nothing for me as a man. So if I don't have any problem. You got a bikini picture on the Instagram, any of that stuff. But it's, where is this separate now? When you look at some of the 90s stuff and the reveals that they had in the movies, when you look at the Holly reveal, when you look at Boomerang, where we now know, because there's been videos circulating, but people forget how ridiculous that was to the country, where you just have fine black women, right? We just have fine black women, fine black people, and there was sex involved, but they weren't sluts. They're like, wait, nobody's being attacked, nobody's being raped, they're working? What is this nonsense? We've lost that, and that's part of the problem. It's not necessarily.
It is never coming back.
It can't. Hold on. Let me argue this. That is we've only lost. When I say we, I'm talking about Western United States and Western Europe. You still get that in South Africa. You still get that in Thailand. You still get that in Brazil, in places. You still get that in other places.
Places. But you go online and those women in Thailand, South America, Africa, whatever, they're doing the same things as the American girls.
That's the dumbass passport bro and some internet influence. But when you get out of that, like I was in I had a place in Cartagena. I dated a normal girl who had a job. I come back to the spot, the eggs and stuff are ready, and all the rest of that. You get you get that in other places. Now, with that, part of the thing too that you're seeing from the men's side is because they're so used to not having to be men that they think getting that comes free. And that's where you get some of that conflict. So along with my eggs, being made, when we go out here, but I'm taking care of the dress. I'm taking care of it. That was normal. Now, because like I live in Atlanta now, it's transactional. Where you live in it's awful.
Capital of the universe.
Oh God, it's and you should see some of the texts that I sent to people back home. I thought that women asking for $40 was a hip hop thing. I didn't know that was real. I swear I did not know that was a real thing. That a woman would just come, like 40. That's what I got a text. I met a girl, we exchanged numbers. She sent me a text saying, "Hey, you think you can help me out with $40? I'm going here to get this stuff." I thought that was a joke. I thought that was some rapper say that it was just a made up thing.
You thought it was a TikTok trend?
Yeah. I didn't know it was real. Women ask me, just straight out asking for money. I don't even know. But that's the type of stuff that's going on now. And he's right. It's never coming back. It's done. It's over with. You need a passport. You need a passport to find that. You're not going to find it here.
90s type of fine is gone. I remember it felt like sin when the swordfish Halle Berry part where Halle Berry's reading the newspaper.
$500,000 to show those titties. $500K. That's how much they gave.
So
yeah,
it is the deconstruction of like having it. They have folks have found a way to embarrass masculinity. Right? Like
we could do a whole show on that.
That's a different topic, right?
Yeah.
We got plenty of time to do that. Final part.
We should definitely do that for the next one. See.
Oh yeah.
We can talk about that forever, and then if they meet men like us three, and then they'll be like, "What are y'all?" Yeah, we dinosaurs, but we ain't.
It's the problem. It's the problem. Whenever you bring that up, people go to the extreme and the worst example. If you talk about masculinity, invariably an angry woman or an effeminate dude will bring up Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels, as if they're the only two people.
They made them the standard,
right? And every single time.
And like knowing damn well.
Rest in power to Unc, man. Rest in power to Unc the GOAT. Rest in power, man.
I want to.
He died on the shield. Rest in power.
I want to thank y'all for coming out. I think we're on the website, not just the group. They're gonna post the video, so make sure y'all catch us on the replay. We're gonna try to pop out every week and build our following. This is like sort of low key our test run. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to DC and all the folks, my guy.
Shout out to DC
and the crew. Also, there's also a sit and talk Super Bowl party. Make sure y'all check that out. And then finally,
I ain't coming.
I'm gonna do a segment. The worst poster. Y'all got to bring one next week. The worst poster of the week. Nate the Godson. Nate the Godson.
Not Adam. Adam usually is
not yet. Nate is the worst.
He's been there for a long time.
The Celtics could do no wrong. Everybody who puts on a Celtics uniform is God. LeBron is the worst player ever. Like, this guy is the worst. He's so bad that and he's smart because the only thing he's smart about doing is deflecting by making fun of Adam. He is historically bad. So you, my friend, Nate the Godson, you are the worst poster of the week.
That's crazy. I don't know who the worst poster of the week is, but I just know overall, the LeBron talk is just out of control. We can't post about LeBron every 3 minutes.
Yeah, we can't. And I love LeBron, but I don't want to hear about LeBron and Jordan no more. There's plenty of other things going on.
Yeah, there's plenty more things going on.
Other things going on.
Yeah,
but Nate the Godson, please, bro, please use Chat GPT to get some sort of objective. It'll make you look like a normal person and not someone who spends some time dreaming. I'm saying it nicely about dreaming, fantasizing about being a Yahoo. Appreciate y'all. Check in, clock in.
All right.
Peace. Be safe.
All right, man. All right.